Hello and welcome to 20 Years a Migrant. In today's episode, London. Hi.
Hello. It's just the two of us today.
Yeah, just two of us as always. So I am LawrieBlaz.
And I'm NyariClaire.
And this is 20 Years a Migrant. Again, 20 Years a podcast.
20 years, you got it right the first time. You said 20 years a migrant, and then you said 20 years a podcast.
Okay, it's 20 Years a Migrant.
Yes.
Migrant, a podcast about life in the UK.
4 episodes down, bruv. Get it right.
You're saying 4 episodes. You don't know what order this is.
Okay, this is the 4th episode.
Oh, we are recording. They're not in order. They won't be in order, though. Not in the order that you think. This might be the second episode when you release.
Is that right?
So don't number them. Yeah, don't number them.
I'm not numbering them. I'm just saying
just
it's the
done.
4th. I'm not saying as in when it will come out, but it's the 4th time we've recorded.
Anyway, so the podcast is about life in the UK. So we've both been in the UK for over 20 years. So we're just sharing our experiences.
Our thoughts, our experiences, our concerns, if you like.
Concerns?
Our comparisons.
Because we both...
Everything else.
Yeah, we moved from Zimbabwe to here. And it's been, fun. Let's just say. It's been an experience. Which doesn't make much sense to me, the saying. Because everything is an experience, isn't it? It's just about how you express it. Mm-hmm. Even a boring experience. Never mind. Yes, so today we're talking about London, which is the capital of the United Kingdom of Great Britain in Northern Ireland. Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's a place where everyone says, when they think UK, they think London. No one thinks Nottingham or Birmingham or Manchester. You know, like if you're going to UK.
I mean, people can say, "Oh, yeah, who goes to Nottingham?" But no one ever thinks of Manchester, or like you're saying, and yet Manchester is the 3rd largest city. Birmingham is the 2nd largest city.
Yeah,
but no one ever talks about them too.
Yeah.
So why would they even talk about Nottingham?
Yeah, unless you know someone who is there, you might say, "Oh, Nottingham" or something like that. But otherwise. Yeah, all these are the small places. No one talks about them. And London is the home of several Premiership football clubs. Arsenal, Tottenham, who else? Chelsea, Fulham, Brentford. Currently, anyway. We're in 2024.
I know nothing about football, so I don't know why you're asking me these questions.
No, just for references for some people who... Oh, wow.
What's that team that wears maroon and blue? Is it maroon and blue?
Maroon and blue?
Yeah.
Maroon and blue?
West Ham.
Oh, that's claret. It's not blue, it's claret. It's not maroon, sorry.
What? I don't know why you're correcting me. When you see the jersey, it's maroon, as far as I'm concerned. This claret business.
Well, yeah, there's West Ham.
You're asking me about soccer teams, so I'm telling you.
Then there's Burnley, was the same colour as Aston Villa. Anyway, never mind that, right? So, do you remember the first time you went to London?
Oh, I arrived in London, didn't I? So
no, as in central. Okay, when you talk about London, maybe should we talk about the central part, I guess, because people say they live in London and they never go to central London.
Well, if we're going to talk about London, that will be my first. I wouldn't say first day, but my first week in London.
Yeah. You're going to talk about Stratford.
My first week in London.
Yeah.
So if we're ever going to be talking about our first day in London or our first day in England.
Okay. Let's say central London then. This is where things
I'm
happen,
saying I did that my first week. Yeah,
because no one wants to hear about Tooting or all these other places that, But anyway, we can talk about, anyway, our experiences there. I think you said you went there by your lonesome, isn't it? Yeah,
I did. Because obviously my brother lived here in Nottingham, and I had a week. Was it a week? 2 weeks, I think. I had 2 weeks in London before I knew I was coming here, because my brother had some work outside of... He wasn't at home, basically, so he couldn't just come and drop me off in Nottingham at the house, and then he goes off to work for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And leave me home. So he left me at my my uncle's place, and
Whereabouts?
East Ham.
East Ham. Okay.
Yeah, and they left me there,
Ghetto.
and I had my pennies with me, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and see Central London because this is what I've always wanted to do and see. That that's what we know. We know about Buckingham Palace. We know about
Big Ben.
Trafalgar Square. Particularly if you play Monopoly, you know all the
Yeah.
all the little
yeah.
places and things like that. You know the Big Ben and the London Eye. Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna take myself on a day trip. I remember I went on my own. I think I left about 10 in the morning and I came back around 4 in the afternoon or something like that. I had my camera with me, my old school camera. And I just did, walked around, and every time I wanted a photo, I just ask a stranger because in London it's all tourists anyway. We know this. Well, majority of the people are tourists, so everyone is just there to take pictures, and they understand.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of just waiting around, looking at the right person, and asking, "Can you take a picture of me? Can you take a picture of me? Can you take?" So I've got loads of pictures of me on, by Trafalgar Square, by
Yeah.
Tower, not Tower, Big Ben. What's that bridge? London Bridge, not London Bridge.
Tower Bridge.
Tower Bridge.
Yeah, Tower Bridge is the one everyone thinks is London Bridge, and London Bridge is so dull, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You kind of get disappointed, especially when you grow up singing the song "London Bridge is falling down," which obviously it fell down, and then when they built it, they just built a bare bridge that doesn't look like anything.
Yeah, it was much.
Really.
The older bridge was much nicer. If you see pictures of it, it was much nicer. But then it got to be unsafe because it wasn't. It was But anyway, yeah. So
London Bridge is falling down, falling down. Do you know it?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And so you took the tube, you got on the buses and stuff.
No, I took the tube. I took the green.
The district line.
The district line, yeah.
Yeah.
The green tube. And back then, that I remember catching it. Obviously, it's different to when you're in Zimbabwe, right? Because, transportation is... By the time I left Zim, we didn't have like buses, like Zupco buses, like the local buses that people have that arrive at a certain time and drop you off and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then coming here, you expect a higher standard, if that makes sense. Things that are a bit more sleek. And I remember catching the district line, and I was like, "What on earth is this?" Because yes, it's a tube, and yes, it's different. We don't have that, but at the same time, it was just. I remember the seats were type of brown material that just looked like, I don't know what it was. The floorboards were the flooring was floorboards. Yeah. It was actually wooden flooring or something. I don't know. And the thing was, and everyone kept saying to me, that's the worst line at that time, I guess. I don't know. I think all the other ones had been changed or had been upgraded. And everyone said that the district line was the worst line in terms of like its upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just interesting to sort of say, what? I didn't expect this. It's different. Yes, it's an upgrade, but at the same time, I thought it would be like a sleek type, thing, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's, no, I understand what you mean because there's some of them. Of course, for me, my first experience on the tube was on the Jubilee line. It was brand new, isn't it? It was quite new. It was the Queen's Jubilee at the time. So it was new. Everything was just like, ooh, this is nice. This is nice. This is that. And then when you, so it just depended on how long it's been operating. Yeah, some of them were quite old. Yeah, especially those the district lines. Yeah, some of them were quite old.
It was old, and it was one of the even when it moved, it was squeaking and just pulling you along. Like you could feel. Like now on the tube, you just feel like you're maybe in a car, so you don't feel the motion. With this, you could feel like I'm being pulled along. That kind of thing.
You're like 1, 2, 3.
And when it stops, it's like, duh. Yeah. But, so that was, I think I landed on a Tuesday, if I remember correctly. By Thursday, I'd already sort of made my way into central London.
Okay.
to go and see the sites.
Yeah, for me, I think
Because I was so excited, I was like, might as well,
Yeah.
And it's a good thing, I guess, that my brother left me there, because if I had not, I think it would have taken me a
long time.
much longer time to go. I don't know. But then again, knowing myself, I would have probably made a plan to go,
Yeah.
but maybe 2 months later or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, in my case, I can't remember. I don't remember when exactly I went, but I know I went by myself. Okay. It was quite exciting. I don't know. I don't quite remember how. Yeah, but it was quite exciting. I think I was coming from is it Romford. From Romford to Stratford, and then I took the Jubilee line. Right. So yeah, it was quite exciting, and I didn't have a camera. I was just walking around, and it was so busy, man. Loads of people, and everyone was just looked busy. And I was kind of concerned about. I was worried about getting lost. I wasn't worried about that because I had the confidence, and I had a map. Obviously, we all have maps, isn't it? So you could say, "Oh, I want." So all I did was just take. I had a day ticket, and just from this one to travel card. It was travel card, yeah. Yeah. So I just go from I want to go to this place and then go around there. Go to this place. Sometimes you get out and think, oh, there's nothing here. Then go off. You know what I mean? Because I've been told, like, you can go on and off the tube, and I was more. I didn't want to the bus. I didn't catch the bus that much. My very first day, but I did. I was more excited about the tube. The underground.
Yeah,
I was more excited.
I was actually more excited about the bus, because that's what we know. We know about the red bus and the double decker, but my cousin was like, "You don't want to catch that because it's
a long thing.
It's a long thing, and I think you had to. I don't know if there was a direct bus, or you had to then catch another bus. That whole thing. Whereas the tube was just straight, and then it would get you to.
And you know
to
what?
where you needed to be to.
And you know what? It was at that time. Because now it's pretty easy because the bus would say, whatever, Sandringham bus stop.
Yeah, that's the other thing
right?
as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Now at that time, you didn't know which stop it was.
Yeah.
Or you could ask the driver to say, "Okay, can you remind me when I get to this place?" And then hope that the driver remembers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now the bus tells you, they're like, "Oh, is this stop coming?" Which is pretty handy for. You don't have to ask somebody, and also like for people who are like visually impaired, which is pretty nice, Yeah. So.
Yeah. So that was sort of my first time. I can't even remember what I did for lunch. I think did I carry a packed lunch? I don't know. I don't think so. But I just remember sort of like even sitting by Trafalgar Square and just people watching, because that's something I like to do. And just watching people just walk around. That's one of the things I did. But I had a little map with me as well, so I was like, okay, these are the places I need to go.
Yeah.
And and then in 2015, I did another London only trip, because I was like, the first time obviously when I went, I was a little bit frugal with my money, I guess. When you've got your little pennies and you're like, I've just come from Zimbabwe, only have so much.
Like when you pay for everything, you're calculating how much is this in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, and you're calculating as well. You're like, how much? And back then it was like a significant amount. Now, because Zimbabwe uses US dollars, it's not as significant. $10, £10. It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
But back then, £10 here would have been enough to buy groceries for a week for the family or something like that. Like,
how small is this family?
It was a good amount. You say that because exactly we didn't need to send money back then. So maybe that's why you're saying that.
Right.
But yeah, so £10 was quite a lot back then. But yeah, in 2015 I went back and did pretty much the same, but this time around the only difference I think was I went to see Westminster Abbey, and at the time I remember there was a choir, choirist, like choir, and there was not not the Pope, obviously, definitely not the Pope. There was some type of bishop or something who had come.
Archbishop or so for
Yeah, and so there was I don't know, but there was a mass service. There was those young boys that sing. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah,
I was going to say choirs.
I don't know.
But they have a name.
Yeah.
The young men with the really high pitched. I don't even say young men. They're boys.
Or the sopranos.
Yeah, but it was so good, so good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But it was spontaneous. It was one of those where it's like, I'm just going to see Westminster Abbey. There's a
Then
service.
there's all this
There's
going
this.
on.
There's
Yeah.
might as well just go in, and yeah.
Yeah, but for me, like how I can describe London is an anomaly. It doesn't represent every other city in the country.
Yeah.
Like I went to Glasgow. I think there was one. I don't know if there was one, but like I kind of in those early days, I expected every city to have the underground. Nope, it's not like that. Some places have trams or trains, but the extent of the public transport in London is just so ridiculously. I forgot the other word.
Good.
Yeah, right. But there's quite a lot of it. Like you don't even need to own a car if you live in London.
Yeah.
There's just so much. All these 24-hour buses, trains, and all this stuff, and overground trains as well. So, but then now when people go to London, they think everywhere else in UK is like that. It is not. That's one thing, and it's also a place of contrast. You like the contrast, whereby you get these really rubbish terrace houses, loads of them small houses, and then you get some areas that are so like big, like Hampstead Heath, like the houses that's so nice, and there's rich and poor, and now it's only even the people who have a bit of money are staying in rubbish places because everyone goes to a big city, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's kind of thing that you kind of expect. That's what's happening in places like New York or Los Angeles, I guess.
Yeah.
It happens, which is quite sad because imagine if you grow up, let's say in Brixton, right? It gets gentrified and it becomes a
What's
place.
gentrified?
Gentrification.
Now, I know what it is, but
You can Google it. Hey Google, what is gentrification? Oh, hey Siri. Yeah, well, it's a place where it's like when they regenerate a place, but then make it nicer in a way. But when that happens, is the locals are priced out, and then people from outside who have a bit more money, people from Winchester, for example, who can afford to buy the houses, they move in, and the people who grew up in those areas moved out, because it happened in so many places in London. Because you know what, I remember Eve is going to be a guest in the future, right? So Eve's mum, right, she was saying, "Oh, I went to Brixton and I saw people with scars and stuff like that," and she she tried to put the frighteners on us and said, "Don't go to Brixton." Right? But then there were concerts in Brixton. Like, all these black people coming to Brixton. So me and Eve would go, but we would say we're going to Brixton. We just say we're going to some other place that is acceptable. Because she was terrified of Brixton. And we went there, was like, oh, lots of black people, because I was living in Surrey, right? A place where you see black person and you say hello at that time. Right?
Yeah.
Then you go to this place, so is coming. Yeah, we got there, and, because there was a reputation about Brixton, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also Hackney. Hackney now, and Hackney when you got here, different place. No one went to Hackney. No one went to Brixton. Yeah, no one went to those places. When I say no one, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, in a way, you kind of want not gentrification as such, not
A
that
place to be
term,
developed.
but
Yeah.
you want the place to be developed and to have some type of liveliness around it.
Yeah.
You know, but
Good facilities. Yeah.
good facilities, whatever, but not at the detriment of the people that live there, because what basically what you've described is gentrification and, and being priced out is the fact that, for example, you move into this poor area, right? The rent is, I don't know, to say, for argument's sake, £200. And then, some big shop or maybe even what do you call these, the ones that do smashed avocado? What are they called?
Oh, this one.
Those shops,
Those
sort of
coffee
like
shops.
coffee shops
Those
and all these things.
hipster coffee shops.
Hipster coffee shops and stuff like that. They start to open up because the rent is cheap, right? So they get these little shops that they start their business, but then their prices are a little bit higher. So now people are coming from outside of your area to come and have these smashed avocados, and then before you know it, they are also wanting to rent in that area because that area is happening in inverted commas, and then the rent starts going up because people start to figure out, hold on, the people that are coming here are people with jobs, or I suppose the people that live there already have jobs, but with better paying jobs, and stuff is happening, and there's an attraction. So now the landlords start, there's a vibe. The landlords start putting up the prices of rent and stuff like that. So now these poor people are being forced out.
Yeah, I think that the main thing that happened is the loss of social housing, okay? Because councils were, I think the country got not obsessed, but there was a lot of thing about home ownership. This is not my original thought anyway, but someone explained it to me anyway. That there was this thing about home ownership, but home ownership comes with is for people who can afford, right? Who can afford to buy a house, because some people can afford to rent. So what was happening is maybe the councils will sell the land and things like that, and then developers will come and build flats that are very, very expensive that the local people can't live there. Yeah, right. So like what I know which was happening to a certain family, quite a few families in Hackney, they were being offered to move to say, oh, look, we'll offer you a house in Milton Keynes.
Which now Milton Keynes is very expensive because now it's everyone wants to move to Milton Keynes.
Yeah,
but back then it was go there.
Go there. Yeah, so they've been told that we'll move it to this, right? So they were building new housing, right, with some social housing, but most of it wasn't. So quite a few people were agreeing to move. They're like, oh, I'm living in a council flat, I'm going to move into a house. But when they move to that house, the new housing that's being built is too expensive for people who live there. Some people who refused, they were still given housing by the council. But a lot of people were like, oh, I'm going to have a house. But what they didn't realize is, you're going out, and then people who are not from around there, so there's all of that happened in these places. But but I just I was gonna, when I was thinking about this subject, right, I was going to tell you about because I was going to a college. Right, so I would go to college in East London, and then come into town, as you say, into central London. So I was looking for a bookshop. Say, look, I want a bookshop. I want to buy some books. So I walked into this bookshop, and I walked in. It just said bookshop, and I walked in. I'm thinking, hang on a second, where are the books about computers in this place? You know what kind of shop it was? It was an adult bookshop, right?
Oh.
I didn't realize, right? I was walking around. I was still brand new. Right? Yeah. So you guys look, I'm looking for this book on computer networking. He just said, we haven't got them. Then I walked out. But then later on, right, it clicked, like, oh, I was in an adult bookshop. Now there's the internet now. They don't need all of that. But it's just one of those places where, like, oh, I walked into an
adult bookshop.
That would never happen in Harare, would it?
Oh, wow. Yeah, of course not. That's an interesting experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, it's just one of those things that kind of that happened that I remember. I also remember, like when you're on the escalators, you should know where to stand.
Yeah.
Right, because there are people who are in a hurry.
Oh, yeah, you mean that whole stand on the right, stand on the left.
Right, yeah, right. And also people standing on pavements. especially tourists, isn't it? They just stand as a group and block the pavement. And after a while, it's like getting to me now. Like, well, there'll be a group of people just because you're in a hurry, and everyone else, I was in a hurry, So that's one of the things
you'd become Londonized.
I've become, a bit of like, bit of that. Like, why are you standing there? Yeah.
Yeah, no, some of us are country bumpkins.
Right.
So, but London for me is, it's basically down south.
Down south.
That's it. If I'm going anywhere down, say past Hemel Hempstead or whatever, that's London to me. I know Laurie was always telling me, no, but London is da da da. I'm like, I don't give a flying whatever. It's London, okay? For me, basically. But yeah, so anything to the left or the right of the M25 is London.
Yeah, wow, okay. Well, because some people claim to say they're from London when they're not. Like people in Slough. They will say West London. Slough is only West London. I don't know why people are claiming it's Slough, bruh. That's not West London. That's you're in Berkshire.
Yeah.
That's, Otherwise, people in Reading are in London. Windsor is London. Everywhere is London now.
Yeah, to me it's London. But yeah, no, London is it's an interesting place to go. There's always things to go and see. Like concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When most like international artists come, they obviously will have a show in London.
Yeah.
But then in terms of even just small gigs and stuff like that,
I think
there's quite a lot more stuff happening in London compared to Nottingham or even Birmingham itself, which is like the second largest city. So it's nice to have that, but because we're so far away, sometimes just traveling to go to London is a mission in itself.
Yeah, that's why we are going to move back.
What do you mean move back? I have never been there.
That's why I am going to move back.
Yeah, you can move back. I'll stay here.
All right then.
We can do the whole you live there for a week.
Long distance.
Yeah, and then come home for the weekend.
No, you know what? The thing about London is there's always things to do. And Nottingham, there are things to do, but you finish them. Do you know what I mean? There isn't that much variety. That, because if you look at, I don't know, like you can just say, in Brixton, there's lots of other things to do around Brixton. There's, it's just lots of things to do, especially, blackety black stuff. Yeah. You always have something to do.
Yeah.
Something attractive and, and it's a place where, like, there's quite a lot of black people. I was going to call them rappers. A lot of black people. You remind me of the first time I went, those early days, maybe 2-3 months here, I went to Peckham. So Peckham in 2003 and Peckham now, different, right? And because I've been told South London is so scary, blah, 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 I was terrified.
Yeah.
Right, we were going to a party and there were just these guys who were standing around. And I think my regret then now, I don't quite regret. At that time, right, I had a bad picture about these guys. Like, these guys are up to something. They, but forgetting I had left Zimbabwe and I was one of those guys who just used to stand in the street. Just to stand as a group of us. But these guys, when do you know what I mean? I was just because they would just be staring. Or maybe I was staring at them and they're looking back at me and then I'm saying, why are you staring? I didn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I was terrified, right? But now I just thought, that was unfair of me because I had been influenced by that stereotype that South London is like this. Of course, there's going to be a place where...
You're influenced by what, sorry?
No, by scare stories.
Oh,
people say this kind of areas, stuff like that. Yeah, so it's I don't know if people watch Top Boy, they think
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think that
And then you stereotype the place. I
stereotype-
don't know
yeah.
where it's filmed, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where exactly in London it's filmed, but
Yeah, no, I just feel like London it's a little bit scary though for black people.
how so?
No, just like stop and searches and all these other things, and I don't know. I just never. It's never been a place that I would have wanted to stay, to be honest, personally.
Oh,
As much as he's like, oh, because you've got a plan, your master plan. No, I've never said, oh, I would really love to live in London. I would have loved to work in London, because obviously there's quite a lot more opportunities in terms of. I think there was one time I was thinking of going, but then I never, in my head I was thinking of going, like catching a train, going for like 3 days or something, or a week, and then coming back. That kind of stuff. But I never thought to actually live there because it's just too expensive.
but you know what?
And for the amount of real estate you get, it's pretty much like New York or something, where people are complaining about what you get for the price you're paying. It's not worth it for me.
Just as demand,
Sorry, I'd prefer to have space. When when you cook, you don't want to be turning around, and some of us have hips that are hitting corner to corner when you're turning.
Oh my God! I remember one time I went to a party. I went to like a New Year's party in Chelsea, and we were just walking. We were walking. It was a basement flat, and I think we were walking sideways then. And I'm thinking, why are you inviting people to your house?
I was watching, not watching, but I follow this. I used to follow this. She hasn't posted in a long time, but this account on Instagram, and they were renovating their London house, and the amount of money they put into that house to renovate it, and the size of the place. They even had to do a loft, like a loft conversion to make it into 3 floors, but it was so narrow. And so high up. You're like,
but this is
and then they even gave us the cost breakdown. One of those accounts that's like open, and they share everything. And you're like, for the amount of money you're spending on this place, you could buy 3 houses in at that time anyway. That was around 3 years ago. Now houses, obviously, the housing market has escalated, but they could have bought 3 houses and maybe 2 in Nottingham and one in Leeds or something.
They only need 1 house.
No, but still, you need a stream of income. You could rent it out. Now look at the rents now.
That's the problem.
But I'm just saying, as in the amount of money they spent on that. With their credit cards and their loans and all this stuff just for this. It was a narrow house, honestly. I was like,
but I think you know what, right? I think for me, like I find that it's a bit unfair how people say London houses are small because they are big and bigger houses and bigger flats.
No, I am not disputing the fact that they're bigger and bigger houses, but they're bigger and expensive.
Because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the expense, like what you're getting for what you're renting. It's ridiculous. Yes, I would love a big house, but can we afford it?
There's stuff to do, though.
Can we afford it?
There's lots
Do you remember when
do.
we went to the to your friends? Where were we coming from? No, we went to the barbecue.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we're having the barbecue in the park because none of us have a garden." They all lived in flats or small places where none of them have a garden.
They live in flats.
Yeah. And there were about how many friends were there from, I can't remember how many there were, but maybe say 10 people, and none of them had a garden. They were all like, oh, wow, like it would be nice if we had a garden or at least a space where we can accommodate
but then you
the
could
10 or 12 of us.
They could do
and they were
that
having a barbecue in the park. And you're like, and the funny thing is, we weren't the only ones. There were like, I don't know how many other people were doing the same thing, having barbecues in the park.
But the thing is, right, at least you have that option.
Yeah,
That's
no, I'm not
that's,
saying
that's,
I'm not saying it's not an
available to
option, but it
you.
was so far away, and then getting 10 yeah. Anyway,
No, I think there was supposed to be that event. There was supposed to be something happening there. There are other places you can do even near to Camden. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, right? You can do that near. There are places like that near in Camden that you can do that. I think there was a reason why we're in that place, but yeah, but I know what you mean that. Because I see it, because I'm into cycling, and I see some people washing their bikes in their bathtubs. You wouldn't want me to wash the bike in there, would you?
No. All that grease.
Right? And then people say, "Oh, why are you washing this?" I'm like, well, if you but it happens in so many places where people live in flats. They're like, "Oh, I haven't got an outside tap. I'm going to do this." You know, like we're gonna go to the park for. And I think going to the park for a picnic is it's an English thing. It's a British thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because but then we have
No,
the
I mean
option.
picnic is picnic. Barbecue is a totally different thing.
Even
isn't it?
barbecues, we can have, people have done that. What's good? Are you sketching like that Ugandan woman?
No, it's like I don't even know what it is.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Boy.
But anyway.
Yeah. But like I was saying about London being a place of contrast, right? There's this thing about like you can see there are green spaces there, like really nice ones, big, and like if you go to Richmond, you think, "Oh, am I still in London?" Do you know what I mean? You know, it's not really central as such, but you know, it's near enough. And pigeons, loads and loads of pigeons. But I was going to mention rats. Rats.
Oh my days.
Rats. But
So there was a time when a friend of mine, she was living in Chiswick, and I went to visit her. We'd gone to see, we'd gone to Robin Thicke's concert, right? Well, I was going there for that weekend. And I remember opening her kitchen window. She was like, close the window. Because her kitchen was facing a railway line.
Ah, right.
Like there was a railway just outside,
yeah.
not just outside, but obviously
Yeah.
there's a bit more space, I guess, but you could see the train.
Yeah.
And she was like, "They're rats, massive rats, and you don't want them coming into
Yeah, I got the big
into
hunting for
their
food.
kitchen."
Hunting for food.
And here I am innocently opening the window, like, oh la la. Yeah, but and then after she said that, I started to notice, like, you know, like when we'd go for like the walk to get to the train or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you know, just looking out to say, "Oh,
giant
these
rats."
rats." Now you start to see them, you know.
But I'm told
That's
like
weird.
London rats are smaller than the New York rats. New York is famous for
and the Paris bedbugs.
it's just huge rats. Oh my god. Yeah, so the rats you also sometimes on the tube as well. You just see them running around.
On the tube?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, on the tube.
I've not seen that yet, but okay.
Or even near the River Thames sometimes. Depends where. And the pigeons, they don't run away. I think this is the first time when I got here, right? I realized, oh, these pigeons, because in Zim we used to feed pigeons are just, you know, being
Eaten.
they're being eating. Who was eating pigeons?
I don't know. I'm just wondering, do people not eat pigeons?
I'm sure someone does, but pigeons, yeah.
I don't know. I never saw pigeons and stuff, but
Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah, but yeah, well, they used to like
Eat them.
run. They used to be run away, but now the ones here, they just like okay, I'm just gonna move over there. You keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not scared of you. And you know, one thing I learned is in the UK, if like on a building site, if they see pigeon poo, construction stops until it's cleared. Because they eat asbestos.
What, the poo eats?
No. Pigeons, they eat asbestos. Like
Okay.
if you see damaged asbestos, they eat it. Because workmen, if they keep getting exposed, the danger is being continually
So the
exposed.
poo is in the asbestos
The
is in the poo.
Yeah, it doesn't get digested.
Oh,
right?
okay.
It will be in the poo. So the poo it out. So I was told by an engineer friend of mine.
Okay.
You'll say that, when they see.
Yeah.
Because they eat
Just
almost anything.
reminds me of when when you're talking about pigeons. When I was coming from Australia, and it was lockdown.
Mm.
Do you remember?
Yeah, when they all took over.
When the animals took over, and I came back. Let's see, lockdown was what 22nd of.
The lockdown started 26th of March. That's when it was announced. No, it was
No, it must have been
26th of March.
before.
26th of March.
So maybe I came back on the day it
Wait,
happened.
No. When was it? 20th
Because the
of
wedding
March.
was the 20th. Because
20th,
I'd gone
I
for
think,
the wedding.
no, 20th
and
of
I came
March.
back on the 20th.
20th of March, I think.
Yeah, and my
You came
plane,
back
my
26th.
I came back the following day on the 21st. So which means I landed on the 22nd probably, or something like that. But anyway, I remember being at the bus station.
Which bus station?
Victoria.
Okay.
And the pigeons were and it was just me and the bus and maybe two other people waiting for this bus to take me to Nottingham. I remember the bus was empty. But yeah, while I was waiting for the bus, the pigeons were just like, and I felt sorry for them because they usually eat off people's leftover
Yeah.
sandwiches or whatever. And because there was nobody there, and I was thinking, who's going to feed these pigeons once we go?
Did you feed them?
I didn't have anything to feed them with.
They followed you like
but
mate.
in my head I was just thinking, oh my gosh, we're in lockdown, how long is it going to be, and who's going to feed these, because even in Trafalgar Square they eat off what people leftovers, chips particularly, or stuff like that. So
you felt for the pigeons.
yeah, because there's loads of, like you just mentioned,
Yeah.
pigeons, there's loads of them in London.
Yeah, but they should learn to hunt.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Can't depend on people feeding them.
Wow, that's what you would say about people.
Yeah, because
if we go back to basics and we all lost our jobs and been told you should learn to hunt.
Yeah,
but what am I hunting? Where am I going?
I'll become a farmer.
Huh?
Well, farming is hard though.
Farming is hard, bro.
Because now, if you farm today, you won't be eating tomorrow, isn't it?
That's the thing.
It's a long term.
And what are you hunting? Back in the day, they used to hunt foxes, and
where would you hunt foxes?
Deers.
Deer, yeah.
And what else? What else is there to hunt here in this country? What can you eat? What can we eat as a people?
Snails.
No, that's not hunting.
Frogs. That's gathering.
Gathering. Jeez. You want snails and
I've often thought I've often thought about that. Like why? Yeah. I've often thought about why are the wild animals in this country? It's just foxes and deer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else right now. There's probably one other thing. I mean, like there might be. I don't know.
They're not wild animals. What are they? What are they? You know what I mean?
There's rabbits.
Yeah, rabbits. Yeah. Rabbits.
Squirrels.
Okay. Squirrels. Whenever I think squirrel, I think of tuberculosis. So I'm not going to hand that one.
Why they have tuberculosis?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay.
They were cowed for tuberculosis, yeah, or TB. Yeah. Okay, we're supposed to sell London. Then, the idea in London, Richmond, that's a link.
Are we selling it? Is that the idea?
I don't know. We're talking about London. We're talking about squirrels and hunting snails.
Hey, let's go on a tangent. See where we land.
I think the other day I heard someone say like, in London you don't hear bird song. The birds they cough.
Well, sorry, I don't get it.
Pollution.
Oh.
Yeah, talking about the birds they don't cough. But anyway, that was badly delivered. Yeah, but and also if you had to drive into London, central London, let's go be driving. The roads are narrow, especially the roads are narrow.
Not as narrow as Rome.
Is it?
Or France.
Where
Paris.
Paris. Okay. So it was a thing. But why are the roads narrow? Because these are old cities, and they had horses. So the horse, they didn't do U-turns. Why did they make them wider? It makes no sense to me.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's I don't know. It's sometimes you just wonder, like, because the horses, when they had them in the carriages, were probably the same size or width as a car. At least a small car anyway, not like vans. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then imagine a horse going in one direction, a carriage, going in one direction,
That's
another
chaos
going.
thing.
You know, you'd need at least that much space.
Yeah.
But the roads are quite narrow.
Maybe they had one-way system.
These one-way systems.
And can you imagine
oh my God.
the horse poo? Because horse poo is, oh my God.
Do you know what? They never show that in movies, do you know?
No, they don't.
Come to think of it.
Yeah, but I've heard the history of it, saying like diseases and the flies and the stuff, the horse poo everywhere.
It's probably someone who used to clean it up though, back in the day.
So how many people?
But then again, if you think of all the rain,
yeah,
the way it rains,
it just washes.
It just washes away into the drains.
You don't want to live downhill, do you?
Just washes away because horse poo is quite wet, isn't it? It's not little stools like.
And now even now I get annoyed when police, because police sometimes they do patrol go around on horses in London, and then horse do is on the road and they use massive things like you should pick up after your horse, please. And they just carry on.
Yeah.
And they just carry on.
Yeah. But I remember being in London for the Olympics. That was great.
Ooh, that was a nice time.
That was lovely.
And you know what? I was driving then.
Okay.
In a driving job.
So you had a permit to just go wherever you want?
No. You didn't have a permit. You were supposed to avoid there was an Olympic lane, right? But then because everyone was told there will be lots of traffic in London, there was no traffic. One of the best times ever to drive.
Wow.
Yeah, I think, you know what? That was a good time. They should bring back the Olympics.
They should, shouldn't they?
Yeah. That was a really, really good time, I think.
I came down, I came down just for the weekend where they had the Super Saturday.
Yeah.
With Mo Farah, and when he did the 5,000 and the 10,000.
No, it was Mo Farah, Usain Bolt, and the girl.
Yeah, Dame Kelly Holmes.
No, not Kelly Holmes. No. The heptathlon girl. What's her name? The
KJT.
Not KJT. KJT was no one knew. The one before her.
Usher.
Not Usher. Dinasha Smith. No, Dinasha Smith is current. But oh my God.
The one before Dame Kelly Holmes.
Dame Kelly Holmes did the 800 and something, the 1,500. But there was this.
But she was during the same time, isn't she?
Jessica Ennis.
Oh, Jessica Ennis.
Yeah. So it was Jessica Ennis, Usain Bolt, and the superstar and Mo Farah.
Yeah.
On that same evening.
Super Saturday.
Yeah. I think the Olympics that was such a nice time. Everyone was just happy.
I tried to get actual tickets for the. Yeah, you're laughing.
Everyone was just
tickets
happy.
For who? So I was like, okay, if I ain't gonna get the tickets, I'm gonna go down that weekend. So I went down. I was with my cousins, and we just
being there was.
We went to
nice.
Stratford and went to see the Olympic Village and stuff. Then we went to in the evening. We went to Hyde Park because they had a big, massive screen.
Yeah.
And we just sat there and watched the races.
Yeah.
It was really, really lovely.
But you know what? I think that's one thing I enjoy when they do that. Those big screens and stuff like that. Because it can be like on Trafalgar Square or Hyde Park, depending on what it is. And it's such like those kind of get-togethers. That's such fun. I wonder if is it people from London who are here? Is it local? Is it people in this other area? Or
I know when they did the King's coronation. There was obviously like a place where they had the big thing as well, because I know my friend went, my staunch royalist friend Rookie, she went down to London, so they had a big massive screen where you could, like you're saying, the atmosphere and stuff like that. So maybe we should go. I mean, yes, it might be monarchist stuff, but you'll still enjoy the music and the people are playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not always about being, oh yeah, I'm a royalist. But if you want to enjoy the music, why wouldn't you? I mean, Tiwa Savage was there, for goodness sake. So why wouldn't I want to see her? You know what I mean? Like, regardless of the fact that she's there for something
I
else.
wouldn't. No, because it's just supporting the royalist thing. It's just
No, but if it's a
giving it
free
credence.
concert,
No, but I think this is how they get you though. They think, oh, look at all these people who are enjoying what we do.
I'm not bothered.
I am bothered because I think
I would go. I haven't been yet in the 20 years, but because there's been how many jubilees? There's been 2 jubilees since I've been here. Was it 50 and 70? Yes.
50 was the 50? Is it the one that came with the train, the Jubilee line?
Yeah.
And then the 75. Is it 75?
No, it can't be 75 because then that's 25 years.
Which one is this with the
70.
Elizabeth line that came with the Elizabeth
70.
line? 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was also was it wedding jubilee? There was something.
No.
There was something else that happened.
There was a royal wedding, 2 royal weddings.
Or maybe it was her birthday. Ooh. I can't remember. There was something else. Some other jubilee that happened. But yeah, like I say, I haven't been, so.
Yeah. So in your case, like, if you were to tell someone to go to London, what would be the reason you give them to go to London?
To go to visit
to
or
visit.
to go to
visit.
live?
No, to visit. To visit. They don't know about living. Just to visit.
To visit, I'll tell them.
What would be your recommendations, maybe?
Obviously the sites. It's worth the visit if they've never been.
Yeah.
Because I was speaking. Gertrude has never been.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm telling you.
Were
you not here when she was saying it?
To do better. I don't remember. She said that.
Yeah, like to actually just do London.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, now I remember. Yeah.
Not like obviously she's been to London, but not like
she's been to East
do London. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, because I think we were like I said, we were talking about London. We were talking about
our first time. Well, I mean things get mixed in. I mean, yes, we said we want to talk about London, but sometimes I mean we ended up talking about rats, for goodness sakes, at one point. But so our conversations are not necessarily about this topic, but it can just be fluid and around that topic.
Yeah, no, I think what I was going to say is sometimes people who say I live in London, they don't really fully experience it the way someone who doesn't. I have
so many cousins who've lived there, even who came way before me.
They say,
they live in that area and they've never been.
Yeah.
Some of them genuinely don't have an interest, and some of them just never been.
So they should just move out then and let us move over there.
You know,
who use because I think it's a shame that like right now in Nottingham, I feel I don't know as much about Nottingham as I feel I should. I'm not trying as much, so I'm a little bit like them guys, but I'm not as bad because sometimes I do try to enjoy stuff.
If you say so.
No, but I think it's not because I look for specific, for black stuff. Going back to the black stuff. That's abundant in London. It's not as much as over here. Okay, so yeah, because I always find it strange that someone who say they live in, I live in London, just to say London, but they're not living in London.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? They're just,
yeah. I mean, it's almost a shame, to be honest. If you live there, enjoy the space that you're in. You know what I mean? Like. What are you waiting for?
Yeah. Because you might as well move to.
But then that's the thing, though, because some people don't. Like, I'm not saying that they're not interested or they just prefer other things.
No. For me, I feel like some people don't know. They think London is about the sights only. But there's a lot of other things. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of other things. It's like what we're trying to say about, well, we'll talk about Zimbabweans, as in you find that some people, they may be like, I don't know, British citizens, right? They've got British passports. They can travel to so many places, but all their holidays are Zimbabwe. Look, you can go to Paris easily. You can go to all the other places for a weekend. You can do that, but never do that. Always.
But that's
Zimbabwe.
what I'm trying to say is that certain people are not interested in.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah. I'm not talking about the black stuff that you're talking about, like the concerts and the festivals and the whatever else. I'm talking more of touristy stuff that's not necessarily touristy. Just being in central London. It's a nice vibe, like especially in summer.
Yeah. Ooh.
You just go and you just it's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, there's some dodgy places, but I don't think it's as bad as what people say about New York. But it's absolutely beautiful. You can take beautiful pictures. You can just enjoy the scenery and just walk around. There's loads of things to, like, little, what you call these, food markets, food stalls.
Yeah.
There's music, there's people playing, you don't have to pay for anything really apart from your food.
Food from so many different countries.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is there are people who are not interested in that, and you'll see it when they go on holidays, for example, when they book their holidays to go even to Spain or wherever they go. And they'll book in an all-inclusive hotel and they stay there for a week, or they just have pictures at the beach. They're not interested in going to see what this place that they've booked in looks like.
Yeah.
If you ask them, have you been to the Tower of Pisa, for example, in Rome, they'll be like, no. Have you been to whatever? They'll be like, no, I just was at the beach and enjoy. Do you know what I mean? So people are just generally different in that respect. So maybe there are people that are not interested in seeing the Big Ben. And
they're not stimulated enough.
Yeah, it's just not in
there.
But
I think I'm sure if you go out there, something might just tickle your fancy, as they say. Because sometimes you don't know what you're missing until you're like, oh, I was missing this. Because I think people should, I think it's a place to that, like I said, that contrast of busy and quiet, rich and poor and affordable and all this. There's not accommodation, right? But there's loads of things to do, lots of sites. One of the things that I did was I went on a boat ride on the Thames. It was an afternoon tea thing, but I was filming. That's the only one because I wouldn't have I would have never done it. But the people who were there, they were having a good time. The people I was filming, they were having a good time. Lots of Americans, because afternoon tea and stuff like that. Even just some Londoners, they were on there. So it was quite nice just to be on the River Thames, just going up and down. So I think there's loads of things for people to do, but hopefully anyone who comes enjoy it. I think the downside is accommodation is expensive, even hotels.
Oh, the hotels! Oh God! But the good thing is, though, you can book a hotel 20 miles out of London, but there's transport.
Yeah,
you can easily get into central London.
Yeah.
I don't know about easily. 20 miles. Maybe that's too much.
No, you can. You can do
in terms of the tube. I don't know how far out they go. But I'm just saying, as in, if you can book the furthest, but make sure there's a tube line where you book, you'll be fine. Because you can get £40, maybe not 40, even 50, trains, 60. You can get £60. Depending on which hotel you go to. Obviously.
But don't go to the.
So if you're looking at Travelodge, Premier Inn, that kind of stuff, you can get hotels
Do you remember
in that area. But if you're looking for premium...
But was it a Travel Inn we went to? Was it?
Travelodge.
Remember that one, is it?
Was that in Acton? Was it near Acton?
God, yes. Oh, my God. No, not Acton.
That was terrible.
Oh, my God.
And we're there for 2 nights as well. Because sometimes you're like, at least if it's one night, you're like, oh, thank God for that. But 2 nights, you're like, I have to enjoy this bed again.
We're going back to that hotel.
We'd gone for the not BAFTA, BFI.
Yeah, we're going to the BFI, the British Film Festival. So yeah, we went.
And we just thought, you know what, it's cheaper. At least you want to enjoy. Like when you go to London, you want to at least have money to do other things. And a bed is a bed at the end of the day, So sometimes you can view it that way. But this bed was just
No,
something
that wasn't
else,
the bed.
man.
Nah, I think I would do that again. I won't do that again.
No, it was just the travel lodge. It was just the travel. We've been in travel lodges, Laurie, and that was terrible.
Yeah, so I think there's so many different types of accommodation. Like you can get hostels, you can get 2-star hotel, you can get 1-star hotel, you can get
not
3-star.
hostels. I'll never
I'm
do a
just
hostel.
describing
I
for
know.
the
I'm
audience.
just telling you.
We're not doing 2-star hotel.
If you can only see my eyes.
But I think there's accommodation is expensive. It's a big city, it's a major city in the world, so that's bound to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you make it to London,
I would recommend, I think, a good trip if you're coming from outside of London, but you're in the UK, and you want to go for the day, drive down. You can find parking just outside of London. Catch a tube into central London, or train, depending on where you park.
Or depending on your car, because if your car is ULEZ compliant,
oh yeah, there's ULEZ.
You can park even
there's
further.
ULEZ.
You can park even beyond. You have to be aware of the. Just reminds I have to register our car.
Yeah.
For you, yeah.
So you park somewhere, get a tube into central London. I would advise you maybe to go down Oxford Street.
Yeah.
Go to Harrods. It's free to go to Harrods, guys.
You don't have to pay.
You don't have to pay.
You don't have to buy anything.
You don't have to buy anything. You're not forced, but it's really nice in Harrods, even just the building itself, inside.
Yeah.
Then maybe, so there's Oxford Street. There's quite a lot of shops there. You can do a bit of shopping if you want to.
Maybe just catching the vibe as well, yeah.
Catching the vibe. Maybe book yourself into a what you call it, if there's a theatre showing at Leicester Square, then maybe you go and catch your show, say around 2:00 in the afternoon after your lunch.
A matinee show, yeah.
Watch your show, maybe that finishes around 4, 5. Then maybe do Chinatown. Chinatown is really, really nice, especially at night with the lights, like they have the lantern lights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Have your dinner, have a nice Chinese if you like Chinese. Crispy duck is nice. And then, make your way home. Catch your tube to where you've parked your car and then drive home.
You can even do like, that Millennium Bridge. I like it because how it looks at, I would say, with St. Paul's Cathedral. That's quite nice.
That would be another day.
That would be
if you don't want pressure, just don't put too many things on your on your
so,
thing.
like you said, I like what you said about like going to a theater, because if we have that, right, you can plan around. Let's say before the theater, I will do this. After the because some of these theaters you can do lunch, stuff like that. So so do some sites, do have some lunch, watch some theater, or watch some theater after the lunch, or have lunch.
But then if you have,
after
because the thing is, if you have your 7 p.m. theater, then it's kind of like too late for you to drive back. That's the idea of having an afternoon one. But that would be maybe ideal, like for when it's cooler, like now, or maybe autumn time. But in summer, because you want to maximize on the sun, and if it's a really nice day, you don't want to spend it in the theater.
Yeah, you don't do that. I think
so.
For me,
so don't do that if it's summer.
Summer, I try not to do indoor things.
Yeah,
indoor anything.
Exactly.
just do outdoor stuff.
Outdoor stuff.
Yeah, because there's no point, because because nice weather is premium in this country.
But I will say, if you really want to do Buckingham Palace, do it. But it's not worth the hype. But the area around it, so the mall,
like the mall,
the mall. Sorry,
the mall is just pretty.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty. The the grounds around it. I think there's where they've got the Diana Monument or something.
I don't know what that is.
I haven't been, but I've seen it on TV. But it's around that mall.
Yeah.
Like to the if you're facing
I've driven
if you're
there. I've
facing
cycled
Buckingham
there
Palace,
and
it's on the right.
never looked for it.
So it's near if you catch a bus from Nottingham, it drops you off at
Victoria.
Mayfair.
Oh, Mayfair, yeah.
Yeah, it drops you off at Mayfair, and it's around that area. That's where,
right.
That's
Okay.
where they have the monument.
That's more Hyde Park, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Okay.
And then Oxford Street is on the opposite side.
Yeah.
So you just cross over, and then you're in Oxford Street.
And another good tip, I remember what Kuzi was saying, that if you are in the West End, just stay there. Don't try to go across, because if with a tube, it's pretty easy, I guess. But if you are driving, don't drive across. Don't try to drive across. It will take you forever with the traffic, and there's congestion charge to pay, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which people are not happy about.
I've not done the hop on and off buses in London
I haven't,
because
I
want to say I found them expensive, but I've done it in
other places.
And they're pretty much the same price.
Yeah.
But I did it in Rome, and I did it in Malta.
Maybe we should do it.
And I did it in Malta. But I think it's the fact that I'm in England. I know what I'm doing. I know the language. I can get myself, you know what I mean. And then you kind of think,
I think it's like for me. I just think that,
but because you're in a foreign country where the language is totally different, you're like, you know what, just pay for it.
Yeah, because I think it's like when you go this side,
and you're not going to go back again. There's that aspect of it as well.
For sites in London, you think, okay, I've seen that before, or I can go see it another time.
Yeah.
There's always
there's always another time.
There's always it's always available. Yeah, because I want for a long time I want to do it. Like I've never been. I wanted to do it. I'm saying it now. I don't think I will do it, to be honest. I might find out where they stop. Right,
and then just do the route on your foot.
Or what did I miss?
No, but they're really, really good. I like them because you drop off, and then it's up to you when you want to catch your next one. It's not like you have to catch this one, or you have to catch, if you just want to stay at that stop for the whole day, then that's up to you. But then you'd have lost out. But yeah, they're pretty good.
Right. Okay. I think we could go on and on about this, isn't it?
About London, yeah.
About London, yeah. Maybe next time we'll bring someone else, and then we can talk about London again.
Yeah, because my experience of London is not as deep as yours.
No, because I was thinking about things like
you've got an A star in London. I've got maybe I'll put myself at a C maybe.
Yeah, so there's this place like St. Catherine's Dock is nice. I took you there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was
nice.
There's
a museum
nice
there
places.
and stuff like that.
Even the Museum of London, and then there's
Somerset House.
Oh yeah, Somerset House. Yeah. And then there's the crime scene, the live crime scene, the British Museum.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where they have all these slavery things.
Oh, there's stolen things.
All these stolen things.
Forensic evidence.
You're just looking at it, you're like, this is forensic evidence. How did you get this?
I went to the VA Museum, Victorian Albert Museum.
Isn't that funny when you actually think about it? It's like, yeah, I did all these things and I've got the evidence to prove it, but I'm here, la.
I went to the Victorian Albert Museum, right? They had a Chinese section one time. They had like a Chinese thing. I was there because I'd gone there to look for African things. At that time, they didn't have a lot of it. And then there was the Chinese section. Then I met a lady. I said, are you Chinese? I said, yeah, I'm Chinese. And I said, what do you think about seeing all of these things here? And she said, at least someone is looking after it. I was but it's not theirs. Because I think that's the kind of the propaganda that's been
sold to us.
Yeah, look, they are preserving it, because what they did is they went and destroyed everything else that's over there, and then brought some here. And they said, oh, look at this, we are looking after it. Well, you destroyed everything, because this is just going off a tangent, right? Do you know how when they were told about, say, the dodo, the bird is going extinct, people were racing to kill the last one.
What?
Yeah, like, oh, I killed the last one. So it was like something that gives them kudos to say, oh, I'm the one that made this. We're the ones who made this bed extinct. They were shooting, you know. But anyway. So
Well, I suppose if you think about it, it's not going to live forever, is it?
no,
Because it
but-
doesn't have a mate. It can't mate to make others. If there were two of them, a male and a female, then you'd be like,
No,
please
but
don't shoot it.
they were.
But if it's the last one, it's like it's going to die.
Maybe it was pregnant with eggs. Maybe it was gonna lay eggs.
maybe. But if it's the last one, it's like,
Pregnant with eggs.
might as well just
Yeah.
kill ya,
all right.
because you're
then.
gonna die.
Just go- but I think because they were racing to kill things, and now they are racing to
save everything.
save everything. Like, oh, look at us,
White
We
savior. But anyway,
care
that's a story
about
for
it.
another day.
Yeah. Anyway,
We don't want the Home Office coming after us.
would they? Would they?
Nah, they won't. No. I've heard worse podcasts.
Nah, we're very nice people. We're good citizens. Anyway, so thank you for listening to 20 Years a Migrant. I am
Thank you very
Lawrence.
much, guys.
And so there will be a phone number for what I keep saying that I haven't set it up. So yeah, you'll be able to contribute to the show by sending a voice note via WhatsApp. I'm going to add your phone number, and there will be an email address. I don't know what number, or what's the number now. Wait. Well, I don't know what the number will be. I haven't got a SIM card yet.
Right.
And
So make sure you send it as a voice note. Do not send messages.
'Cause no one is going
Do
to
not
reply.
send it because no one will reply. What it is just a voice note for you to. We could play your voice note on the podcast.
Exactamundo.
That's it.
Yeah. So tell others, okay?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.